I'm still in Helena, Arkansas, and I'm on the Fort Curtis site with Bill Wilkins, and we are doing some photo shoots of Centennial Baptist Church, and this is a one of the plaques monuments that they have here of it of the that says Centennial Baptist Church has been designated a National Historical Landmark for its association with Elias Camp Morris, one of our nation's most influential African American leaders and Centennial pastors for over 40 years. Isn't that amazing? And it has a picture here of the Morris family in 1900. I don't know if I'm actually getting this picture for you, but this is the monument they have, and it's very beautiful. I don't know whether we can see it or not because there's a lot of sunlight out here, and this is the Fort Curtis that they built here as a reminder of some of the history in Helena, and it's just a kind of hill. And we have also and all of this is right in front of Centennial. And by the way, on the first video, I said that Kathy was a Hammond, but she is actually Kathy Johnson Price. She is sister to Steve Johnson and the Johnson, Rosalind Johnsons, who used to do the photography in here in Helen, Arkansas. And this is, like I say, this is Fort Camp here, and this is it's very nice. It's a nice little uh, touring spot, and it says who built Fort Curtis here. It says one says defending Helena, and this one that says who built Fort Curtis says thousands of escaped slaves known as contraband followed the Union Army to Helena in July 1862. Within weeks, the Army put hundreds of contrabands to work building Fort Curtis. And so it has pictures of them building on it. And this one here said Fort Curtis 1862, 1867. And it's also New Fort Curtis. Bill, let me ask you a question. I'm videoing here. Did they? What happened to the fort? How I didn't because
It was turned into a contraband camp.
Uh-huh.
A contraband camp is sort of like a refugee camp.
Right.
And what it was is that the runaway slaves, John, John Curtis was marching into Helena, slaves were leaving the plantations, joining him in a parade atmosphere, and came to the shelter and protection of Fort Curtis. And that from there, so these were really the earliest black settlers that were freed in Helena, Arkansas, were the people in the contraband camp. And they could either stay here in Helena or catch a steamboat up the Mississippi River.
Right. And where would the Mississippi River take them to?
Take them to
Okay.
Kentucky was a trick because even though Kentucky was kind of the middle of the road state, they did have an agreement that they would return runaway slaves. So if they ran away from here and ended up in Kentucky, the slaves would come back and get them.
Wow.
Okay? But if they got to Illinois, it was the land of the free at that time.
Oh, okay. Thank you. This is Bill Wilkins, and he's very historical. So that's why I knew to ask him. Thank you, Bill. Thank you very much. And so, anyway, as I said, there's four of those plaques here, and the ones that defending Helena, who built Fort Curtis 1862 to 1867, and the new Fort Curtis. And I think this is this is just showing what they've done here. Mr. Ronnie Nichols, then director of the Delta Culture Center, first proposed building a reconstruction of Civil War Fort Curtis in 1992. 20 years later, his vision was realized. New Fort Curtis was dedicated on May 11, 2012. And I don't know if you can see the cannon up, on the hill here. And I'll just give you just a bit of what this is like here. And oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness, I made a funny move there, but this is kind of interesting because you have to kind of visualize what this was like. But here's a picture of it, and it's not that gorgeous or anything, but usually when I'm in a picture, it usually comes out really nice. So I guess I gotta get on in here so we can see, and I hope you can see that. And I'll do my best not to do what I did a few minutes ago. I think I kind of gave you guys a switch a little bit, but this is some of the scenery here, and I can, hope that you're seeing it, and what you see that I'm focusing in front of now is Reservoir Hill, and like I said, I'm not looking at it, so I'm just trying to let you see a little bit of what this area looks like. And so basically, it appears to me that they have squared it off in the picture that I just showed you of how it was, the space that it used. And so there are other little monuments here, but it's just something to help you visualize what could have been here, when they built this. And this right here is a little one of the plaques that says well. This because people and animals must have water. Most forts had wells. It was important to have water available inside the fort in the event of a battle or a siege when men inside could not leave. So it shows the little well and everything. And the well at Fort Curtis was 64 feet deep. And this was in 1861. It says that these were soldiers that were at the well here. And you can see, and as I said, usually we get just grand stuff when I'm in the picture, but I don't know, are we, just because I'm in it, are we seeing it, what we need to see out when I edit this? Yeah, right. When I see it, rather, we'll see what it is that we did see out here. I am enjoying this day. It's a beautiful sunny day. I know you can see that, and I know those are beautiful clouds up there. And today is Friday, and we are in Helena, Arkansas, and I think I'm going to let you look at one more little area here. I don't see the plaque with it though, but let's take a look at it and see what is really going on over here, and then we're going to stop this one. Oh, it's looks like a merry-go-round almost. I'm not sure what it is, but here it is. It reminds me of the merry-go-rounds we used to have. It's around and something, and there's not a plaque there for that one, but it may have been something that they stood up on, during the time that they had the fort for looking out and whatnot. So what I think I better do, I think I better walk right on down here, on back down this hill here, and let you take a look at let us take a look at what these two plaques say, because this is the first time I kind of decided to do even a peep at it. You know, this is the flags over Fort Curtis when the Union Army built Fort Curtis in 1862. The 34-star flag flew over the fort. And they have a 35-star flag and a 36-star flag. And the day the Battle of Helena was fought, July the 4th, 1863, 35 flag became the official U.S. flag. The new star represented West Virginia, admitted to the Union on June 20th, 1863. This is a flag that flies overhead. And the Union Army continued to man Fort Curtis after the Civil War, so it also flew the 36-star flag, which became official on July the 4th, 1865. The new star represented Nevada, admitted to the Union on October the 31st, 1864. The flags are the official style adopted by the military until 1912. Neither the order of the stars nor the proportions of the flags was prescribed. Flags with the stars arranged in a circle star and other patterns were common. Other patterns were common. Okay, and there's a cannon over here, and I don't know whether we can actually see the cannon well on this video from where I am, but I'm aiming at it, and I'm just going to quickly walk us over here to look at it. Now this is, I don't remember what our measurements was for this fort here, but the one on the picture didn't look that large. I'll just have to gather that information later. Okay, here's one of the cannons that says section closed, do not enter. Okay, so I hope you can see it, and I'll just kind of move the camera a little bit so it should be something like that should be showing. Okay, and they have some information on the, to give people views of what it was like. I want to show you just this one. I thought I was going to be through now, but I just got to show you this one right here where looked like something happened, a magazine in the wall at Fort Darlings, Virginia, secondary magazine. If this was the original Fort Curtis, the secondary magazine would be directly below your feet. Okay. Engineers built the magazine under the rampart about 15 feet inside the fort wall. An entrance built into the wall allowed access to the gunpowder and ammunition stored inside. Isn't that interesting? That is interesting. I guess they had to put it somewhere, and definitely they wouldn't want to put it where it would blow up while they're trying to retrieve some ammunition to work with during war times. And this is amazing. I mean, at first glance, when you look at it, you think, oh, that is nothing. What in the world they call themselves doing here? I mean, out of all the things they could do with the money, now we see what the plank thing was about. So they mounted these cannons on it here. And like I say, usually when I'm in something, it tends to really show what's going on. So I just put me in there just in case we don't see it. Now I'm not going to cross there because I know they're not going to want all that, but I'll just do this and see. And there you go. I can see a little bit of it. I don't have to wonder if we're seeing it. I see it. Okay, and that's just it's just a wall, and this is, what's all in here. Nothing much, just giving you a picture of if it was built, how they would be in here, how they would man the fort, and I'm not exactly sure of what these little 2x4s are, except the main. Oh, the main magazine. Okay, that would be where they kept the. At first, I thought it was the picture of the fort, but these little ones around here, if you can see them, they were part of the fort walls, I think. I don't actually see the fort itself. But that doesn't look too good to me, though, because if you've got a place for storing artillery and it's sitting right in the heart of it, look like to me that wouldn't be good. But if it was below, like they said, that would make a difference. If they had a hole to get in and it was below, probably that wouldn't be harmful or hurtful. Well, anyways, I wanted to rush back over here to Centennial because now the good part has started. The first one I did, early when we first got here, so I could get a chance to talk to everybody before they got too very busy, And now they have gotten their busyness done a bit, and we can take a look at a few other pictures they have up here because they didn't stop with just asking people to vote. They put Coretta King's picture up here, and of course a black Jesus. And so I gotta let you see it. You got to see this, and this is, as I said, Phillis. And this bill.
3,
And
2, 1.
Hello, I'm Phillis Hammond, Helena, West Helena, Arkansas, the keeper of the legacy of the historic Centennial Missionary Baptist Church, a National Historic Landmark, and the home place of the founding president of the National Baptist Convention, Dr. E.C. Morris, who was born a slave but grew to international prominence. He was originally from Dalton, Georgia. He was freed by his master, who was his grandfather. He and his family walked off the plantation with permission of his grandfather. He was educated by his father, and that was highly unusual for slaves to be educated prior to during slavery time. But his father was literate and taught him to read and write. His parents died earlier, but he kept on learning. And he had a relative that said, "Come west to Kansas City." And en route to Kansas City, he stopped in Helena, at that time Helena, Arkansas, and fell in love with the town. And here in Helena, he became an ordained minister. And at a very young age of 25 years old, this is the church. The church was not built here. The original church was across the street. It's now an apartment building. And Dr. Morris became his pastor. And at that time, there were only 25 members of the church. And because of his great organizational skills, he formulated a Baptist group. He united the Baptists in Helena, West Helena, Arkansas, and Phillips County. But also, this church grew from 25 to 1,000 members. In 1881, he became a member of the Helena School Board. He also was the founding president of the Arkansas Baptist College, which is still in existence in Arkansas. He wanted a place where black Baptist ministers could become educated and to lead their people to have a better life. But while he was traveling to Europe, he came across many beautiful churches, and Dr. Morris decided that he wanted to build a structure equal to the beautiful cathedrals that he saw in Europe. When he returned to Helena, he met with one of his parishioners, Henry James Price, who was a self-taught architect, and they collaborated to build this magnificent Gothic-style church. According to a lady that I met years ago who is now deceased, she said as a child she can remember this church being built, and it took about 3 years to build it. It seats 1,000 people. It has beautiful stained windows. Some are still here. The church was able to purchase a pipe organ in 1908, and some of these pictures will show that pipe organ, and the pipe organ is still in the building. Dr. Morris was so well known in the National Baptist Convention because he was the founding president. He was friends with Dr. E, with B. Du Bois. He was also friends with one of the first millionaires, Madam C.J. Walker. Booker T. Washington came to this church. All of those people came to this church. Back in the 1990s, I met a lady in Oklahoma City. And when she heard that I was from Helena, she said, "Oh my God, you're from Helena. Do you know Centennial?" I said, "That's my church, and we're fighting hard to restore it." She said that my father was prominent in the National Baptist Convention, and as a child, I would come to Centennial. And I knew Dr. Morris, and she said that his voice was so beautiful. If you remember the commercial, when E.F. Hutton speaks, everybody stops or listens, and that's the analogy she gave to me. And as a child, I was able to read in our church ledger, and the members were very literate. They wrote about how Dr. Morris would come to Baptist Training Union, BTU, which he founded when he was the president of the National Baptist Convention. And they wrote how when he walked into the church, everybody was silent. And as he spoke, everybody listened. And they described his voice as he spoke in this ledger. We are blessed to have all of our documents from 1876 when the church was founded. And most people don't realize that the white First Baptist Church down the street helped this church organize. The founders of Centennial, the black founders of Centennial, were kicked out of the black First Baptist Church. And the white, as they indicate in our history, the white brotherhood of the First Baptist Church, the white First Baptist Church, helped to organize Centennial in 1876. And the name Centennial derived from, it was 100 years since the country was founded, and they named it Centennial. Dr. Morris was nominated by President McKinney to become the recorder of deeds. He did not win. However, he received letters of support, which are documented in his book, from people of both races, black and white. And he thanked them for his support. As we are approaching the 100th anniversary of Elang Riot, there's a lot of discussion about Dr. Morris's role. Now, as a child growing up in this church, I heard that he was a mediator between the black and white community after the 12 men who were accused of starting the riot came to the Phillis County Courthouse. But in later years, I'm hearing, and it's documented, I haven't read it myself, that Dr. Morris originally sided with the local government. And my belief is that he did that because he was a law and order man. And he was a man of peace. And I believe that he just wanted the communities to work together. But when he found out how those 12 men were being treated, this is based on my thoughts and some things I've heard, that he changed his mind and he said to the white community, what we want to do is we want those men treated fairly, and I'm not going to speak against my community because he was a man who was proud of his family. First, God was first, family, and he was definitely wanted the best for his race. So my belief is that after he heard about how those men were treated, he said, I cannot stand, based on my readings and understanding of Dr. Morris, that I'm not going to allow you to mistreat them. I want them to be treated fairly. And I think he was able to work within both the black and white community to help to bring some peace, because there were mobs that were coming from Elaine to do whatever destruction that was necessary. And as we well know in Elaine, black men, women, and children were shot down, even by our state government, like rats. So my role, along with the descendants of Centennial's role, is to keep the legacy of Dr. Morris and other prominent members of this church alive. My mother, the late Phillis Hammond, actually devoted her life, along with Miss Desi P. Kennedy Shepherd, who is still living, devoted their lives to keep this structure standing. If it had not been for those ladies and Mrs. Prophet, this building would not be standing. But I also have to acknowledge former Governor Huckabee, Mike Huckabee, and former Senator Llewellyn, who negotiated with former Governor Huckabee to keep this building standing by providing us with preservation dollars. And the reason why the building is standing here today is because of Dr. Llewellyn. Arnett Willis also was responsible, and one other former representative. Where are we now? Well, we organized E.C. Morris Foundation back in the mid-2000s, and we were hungry for dollars to keep the building standing, because we knew that this community could not afford to restore this wonderful, magnificent structure. And so what we did was this. We worked with my mother and Mrs. Kennedy, formulated a multicultural committee that consists of blacks and whites. And but my mother and Mrs. Kennedy, Mrs. Prophet, Mr. Rowan, believe it or not, generated $200,000. And it's unbelievable. I don't know to this day how they did it, but my mother said through fish fries, private donations, through grants. So when Governor heard that a church with a membership of 25 people generated $200,000, he was impressed. And that was helpful. By him knowing that, we were able to get the additional dollars to buy the scaffolding and to start the restoration. When we started the restoration, the original cost to restore was in the hundreds of thousands. But as the architect that we hired to do a study on the church realized that the church was in worse condition than we had originally thought. So we thought we're not going to be able to raise the money, so why don't we partner? So we partnered with Southern Bancorp, and we were able to get a grant from the National Historic Preservation Program. But there was a flaw in that, in the fact that Southern Bancorp wanted us to give them our deed. And we said no, because that was not the original plan when we collaborated to write the grant. Therefore, the church has not been worked on in several years. So after that happened, my parents died, and our president, Dr. Henrietta Williams, suffered illness, and we had to take care of our personal lives. So a couple of years ago, we were approached by some members of the community to join forces to restore the church, to create a new foundation. We agreed to create the new foundation. However, I said, under these conditions, and talking with our president, Dr. Henrietta Williams, that the foundation will consist of more descendants of Centennial than community people. And they agreed to that. So we met several times, and there arose some problems. And we decided that that was not the best collaboration for us. We would like to partner with some honest partners without giving up our deed. This church needs to remain in the hands of the African American community. Now, of course I want this church restored, but I don't believe in giving up the deed or all of our artifacts in order to explain to them, meaning the broader community, the history of our church, and they tell it through their lens. So I'm working along with Dr. Cal Miller. We're working with some children from the after school in the after school program. And I believe our future lies in the hands of our younger people. And what I'm doing is I'm teaching them about our beautiful cultural heritage so that they will know the significance of this building. This is the oldest standing building owned by former slaves in Phillis County. It is a National Historic Landmark, and it's a National Historic Landmark because of the works of Dr. E.C. Morris, the structure. It was associated with a national event, the founding of the National Baptist Convention, and it was built by a self-taught black architect who was a slave. So, with the grace of God, we're marching on, and hoping that in 2019, we will begin another restoration effort. And don't forget to vote.
Thank you, Phillis. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Wonderful. And you have been, thank you so much, darling. Oh, wonderful. I enjoyed that. This was Phillis Hammond, and we had been...
Take a picture of me and Phillis.
Oh, yes.
No, with my camera.
Okay, well, might as well get mine too. Okay, now, okay. And
You don't mind me putting my arms around you?
No,
and this is Phillis and Bill Wilkins, who had just videoed that. Now, okay. Now, if you can get yours ready, I'll do.
Okay.
I can do one on yours too.
Okay.
You just want a picture, right?
Yeah. Okay, just click it.
Okay. Where you want me to click it at?
Right here. You're going to have to put that down.
Okay. Right here.
Right. No, right here. Right.
Right. Okay. All righty.
Vote.
Okay, say vote. One more. All right, there you go, Bill.
Thank you, Phillis.
Okay, and this is Centennial, and this we're wrapping it up. So I'm just letting you all look on the side here. A little. Thank you all so much, Steve Johnson and Kathy and Johanna. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, see here. This is. I hope you can see it. And you know me, I'm always talking about I hope you can see it. And so beautiful out today, so if you don't see it, there's enough of stuff out here, I guarantee you, to make you still feel pretty good about today. I hope you enjoyed that little historical synopsis from Phillis Hammond. And this is Birdie Nickens saying, have a great day, everyone, and bye-bye for now.